All
Okay.
righty, Roo. I am ready, Freddy. You obviously, you wanted to talk about Leadhead. Fuck me
Yeah.
up.
Before we get into that, I kind of wanted to just this is while preparing for this, I kind of gave everyone names so we can kind of so I can kind of keep things straight
Sure.
for both you, me, and the audience to know who we're talking about. So, Penny equals Leadhead because that is her name. GF is Penny's unspecified girlfriend. We don't know her name, so we'll just go with GF.
Hang on.
All
So
good so far?
you said, hang on. Penny, Leadhead, GF is her unspecified partner.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
19, which is the 19-year-old trans guy.
Okay, that's boy. I'm going with boy. Trans child. Okay. And then
So we're just gonna call. You want to go with boy instead of 19?
Well, that's what she calls him. She calls him boy in like every fucking video. So
So how about boy and girl for other two? Okay. We're good.
We're bird boxing it. Yes. Trans child, and I think that the other one's like MTF or trans femme. I guess I could say trans femme. Okay. So we have Penny,
Okay.
boy, girl, and then GF.
Yes. Cool. Coolio. All right. So, fuck me. Okay, where to start? Boy, howdy, you put a lot of accusations out there based off of very little. Based off of very, very little.
Sure. So your first contention was that you said that I didn't know what grooming is. Do you want to define grooming in a way that we can both agree on?
I think that should involve minors, and there are no minors in this.
Do you agree that it would be possible to groom an adult into a sexual relationship, or do you think that's impossible?
I think it's pretty much unless they're severely mentally disabled. Perhaps,
so you think that a boss that is grooming a female employee in order to have them exchange sexual favors for promotions at work, preparing them for that sexual relationship, that wouldn't constitute grooming in your opinion?
No, it would be something categorized as something else. I think grooming should definitely, absolutely mean something specifically for minors, and there is no as far as I know, this is a consenting thing between four adults, and this is not at all a grooming type situation. This is something very, very different.
So then I want you to define grooming for me in a way. I want you to define grooming for me in a way that excludes any kind of adult.
Any kind of, I mean, sexually priming a minor for sexual contact probably would be my definition of grooming.
Would you? And again, you would make a caveat for somebody who is intellectually disabled.
I mean, potentially, if they legitimately had the mental faculties of a child, but it does not sound like boy is like that. It sounds like boy is fully there.
Well, define
this person does not need a handler. Or
do you think that that's the only kind of intellectual disability? Do you think that there's other kinds of developmental or intellectual disabilities that don't rely on
I think that's really reaching. I think I think it's. What do you mean? How so?
Because you can have somebody. So let's say hypothetically, you have somebody who was raised in a very religious environment. Say that you have somebody who's like Amish essentially, and they go into the English world for Rumspringa, and they are basically socially. I do. So they are
literally nothing about boy.
Okay,
nothing.
So again,
you're trying to.
So we are not agreeing. We are not agreeing on the definition of grooming. So we're going to stop and we're going to agree on the definition of grooming. Would you agree that if there was somebody who was Amish who came into the English world for Rumspringa, that person would be so socially stunted or maladjusted that they would be a target of somebody being able to? We don't have to use grooming if you don't want to. I would use the word grooming to manipulate them and pressure them into relationships that they otherwise would not engage in because they do not know better.
I think coercion would probably be the case because this person would still have I think that would probably sexual coercion would probably grooming means something very, very specific.
Yeah, grooming just means
who's not mentally all there.
But you can be quote unquote not there in many different ways. Decisions. You can be quote unquote not there in many different ways.
An honest person can still know right from wrong and know that hey, bad touch equals bad.
No. Not even kind of. Do you think that the women that are like indoctrinated in the FLDS, that they know that it's wrong for them to be abused by their husband, or is that like societally and culturally acceptable to them, and that's good or normal to them?
For this cases, I don't think that grooming is applicable for this situation. That is my answer with that, and I don't think I'm going to be budging on that. And you'll have to like show me that boy is in fact meeting those criteria.
Well, so again, I'll ask is, do you make caveats for people who are socially stunted in areas of development where it would be easy for somebody to either manipulate and or groom them into engaging in acts that they otherwise would not?
No.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because they're still all there. They know what is good for their own preservation of person.
They don't if they're socially stunted and maladjusted in development, like socially speaking. Like intellectual disability isn't the only kind of disability that would prevent somebody from being able to read these signs and stay away from them, right?
Okay. So I still don't. I see that as like perhaps coercion. Again, not grooming. Like I think grooming should be I think grooming should be a very separate thing. So I know what you're trying to fucking wedge boy into somehow being like trying to like somehow talk about this person and like assume that they are somehow a fully grown adult, but somehow being groomed, like literally infantilizing this fully grown person.
Well, so I would consider it to be infantilizing to take on a parental role. It doesn't sound
like that they're heavily neurodivergent. It sounds like that they know.
Yeah, so I'll reject that entirely because you don't have to be neurodivergent to be groomed. You can also be groomed in like non-sexual ways, like in order to be, you can groom somebody into a position to later do a task that you want them to do. So, for example, a lot of times in low-income communities, young children and young adults are groomed into selling drugs. Not because they want to. They know it's bad. They know it's wrong. Whatever the fuck, however you want to quantify it. They are groomed and they are prepared to do this task for other people who know better but take advantage of like their needs, their deficits, and their material needs as well in order to get them to do a task for them. So I think that it's kind of short-sighted to only describe it as, the kind of metric that you're setting here is.
That coercion. I wouldn't call that grooming. I think that's very like you're trying to
definitionally grooming.
I disagree. So
if you want to do if we cannot come to a consensus on this, I will defer then to the Oxford Dictionary. If we can't come to a consensus to agree that there are one, non-sexual types of grooming, and two, grooming that also targets young adults, not just intellectually disabled individuals. If we can't come to a consensus on that, if we don't have a colloquial definition that we can agree on, I will defer to the actual text definition of what grooming is.
Okay. Fine, whatever. Like, I feel like you're just like massively pushing the bar in a like weird direction. Like literally trying to say that this fully grown adult who has both of their fucking mental faculties, and trying to say that these fully grown adults who are like these are all the young adults that we're talking about in the same rough age bracket.
Do you think that women?
You're trying to tell me that they're all being groomed by.
Do you think that the women that work for Andrew Tate were groomed into working for his pimp cam business?
Is Leadhead even remotely close to like having Andrew Tate's like?
I never said it was. I never said it was. I'm challenging your definition of grooming.
Can we this on Leadhead, Malcolm?
Yeah, I'm asking because we're stuck here because we can't agree on grooming. So I'm asking you, do you think that the women who work for Andrew Tate's cam business, do you think that they were groomed in that position, or how would you describe that?
I would say they were sexually coerced. Yes. I would say coerce, not like grooming implies fucking minors. And you're trying to fucking you were also trying to say like you like borderline you were ready to call Leadhead a pedophile.
Yeah, I think that the DDLG mommy shit borders into that.
Pedophilia happening here either.
I think that definitely borders into it. Like the DDLG mommy shit definitely borders into that for sure.
No, what? So kinksters are pedophiles. Cool. Anyone who's in Malcolm's audience, if you're a kinkster, you're a pedophile. Just want you to know that.
If you're somebody who gets off on the empower balance of being in a position of authority over a young person, and you have them like wear diapers or pretend to be a child for sexual satiation, yeah, I would say that's like pretty pedophile.
So all kinksters are mentally ill abusers that want to fucking.
Are there kinks other than DDLG, or is that the only kink?
I would say like a 22-year-old woman pretending to be a little girl and fucking a 26 or 27-year-old and calling her daddy is absolutely.
I don't think that you heard.
That's pedophilia.
I don't think that you heard my.
That's literally insane.
I don't think that you heard my question, so I'll ask you again. Do you think that DDLG is the only kind of kink there is?
No, but it seems like you have a weird like sticking thing with you have this weird like ick to kink in general.
I don't at all. Not even kind of.
You want to say you were literally screaming out dog fucker when fucking Penny was talking about her puppy play stuff.
Yeah, I think that if you quite literally pretend to fuck a dog when you're having sex, that implies very heavily that you find some aspect of animals to be sexually attractive.
Human.
What was that? I'm sorry, that cut out for
me. Fucking human is zoophilia. Make it make sense.
If you are someone who is attracted to the features, like if you
know what imagination is, Malcolm?
I do know what imagination is. So I'm asking you, say that you have somebody. Do you think that people that jerk off to lolicon are pedophiles?
Jerk off to lolicon pedophiles. I mean, until they actually fucking commit the act, that means something very specific, but I would definitely raise an eyebrow at it.
Yeah, so a pedophile is somebody who is attracted to children. I would say that if somebody is getting sexual arousal and needs that sexual stimuli of like a child, I would call that to be a pedophile.
Except for the fact that Penny is not fucking jerking off to drawn dog porn.
We certainly don't know that. I wouldn't put that outside of the realm of possibility. But do you think that like if somebody has their partner dressed as like a literal baby?
Okay.
Do you think that if somebody has their partner dressed as like a quite literal baby and do like the goo goo gaga shit to fuck, and that's the only way that they can get off, do you think that it's fair to assume that they think that some aspect of like children is sexually enticing?
I don't think that I think it's two adults like doing weird sex shit that I don't personally like, but like whatever. I don't.
Then why would they do it if they weren't attracted to it?
I don't care.
Why would they do it if they weren't attracted to it?
I don't know. Maybe it's the fucking like actual fucking like I don't know. I don't know the whole dynamic with that stuff. I would assume it's the power imbalance thing that kinksters often like to do with that.
Then again, I'll circle. I'll circle back.
Literally, one feel big, other feel small.
I'll circle.
Like maybe it's the infantilization that makes them.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the pedo shit. So I can circle all the way back. Do you think that there's forms of kink? Do you think? Can I finish the sentence? Can I finish the sentence?
In Malcolm's audience, you are also a pedophile.
Can I finish the sentence? Is that okay?
I mean, yeah, I think you're just like talking out of your ass. Stuff, dude.
I barely spoke at all, actually.
Really weird conclusions.
So I'll circle back to the question that I asked earlier, though. Do you think that there are other forms of kink that play on power imbalances and power dynamics that are not dressing your partner up as like a literal baby and pretending to fuck them as a baby? Do you think there's other kinks than that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if they're attracted to the power imbalance of somebody like pretending to be a fucking child, there's obviously an attraction there, an underlying attraction to someone who is either appearing to be, acting as, or emulating like a literal child. I would say that that's pedo adjacent, certainly. At the very least, I would call that person a pedophile, yeah.
No, I can't. Like, when you're literally having consenting adults fucking each other, like, in their own, like, that's an insane position to have. I'm sorry. Like, that's, like,
well, what do you think? Easy. What do you think a pedophile is?
Someone who fucks children?
No, a pedophile is somebody who is attracted to prepubescent children. Do you think that it's possible for somebody to be attracted to prepubescent children without fucking them? Or do you think that they all are offending pedophiles?
Do you think that all people who are into DDLG are attracted to minors? Or
I can answer your question when you answer mine. Do you think that that's possible, that there are people that are attracted to children, the features of children that do not offend, but they would colloquially and definitionally be called pedophiles even though they never fuck a child?
I know there's another fucking term for it. I don't want to use the term map because, like, fuck that shit. There's another.
Yeah, the term is a pedophile. A pedophile is somebody who's attracted to children.
Yeah, if they actually are attracted to the bodies of children, I would say that, yes.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Do you think that you can infer people's attractions based on the type of media that they consume?
Are you talking about lolly? Yeah, like I would probably say like people who are into fucking lolly are like that, yes.
Well, not certainly. So I would
trying to lead me down.
No, certainly. So I would consider those people to be. I'm not trying to lead you. I'm not trying to lead you anywhere. So I would consider those people pedophiles because they're very obviously attracted to children, and that's what they're acting out. So
they're attracted to the actual forms of small children. Can I ask you something? Do babies have literal fucking giant fat tits?
No.
No. So, like, a fucking girl who decides to dress up as a baby and puts a bib over her breasts or whatever, like that's not a baby. That's an adult wearing a fucking bib and a bonnet.
We were really close to that a second ago because you described to me very accurately what those people are attracted to. It's the power imbalance and the feeling of control over somebody who is emulating that of a child because that's the closest they're going to get to fucking a child.
Equation, Malcolm. Children's bodies. These are adult bodies, Malcolm.
Do you think that the guy? Yeah. Do you think that the guy,
a fully grown guy in a diaper with fucking giant muscly arms, a balding head, and hairy arms, does he magically become a fucking baby, Malcolm? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, part of that is fantasy, but what does that fantasy allude to? If you agree that we can infer people's attractions based on the type of media they consume and the type of things that they like to act out.
Having one person feel big and the other person feel small and infantilizing.
Yeah, the infantilizing part. What does infantilizing mean?
Embarrassed about wearing a diaper and going goo goo gaga is probably makes him fucking feel ashamed and like whatever. Like again, I'm not.
Are there other kinds of kinks that don't involve dressing up like a literal child to satiate a sexual fetish?
I don't know, and I don't fucking care.
The answer is yeah, obviously.
Adult shit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are other
children's bodies or emulated children's bodies, like fucking drawn porn or fucking 3D animated porn isn't involved. Then I don't care. It's literally fucking clothing at that point, and people going goo goo gaga. Like I don't care. It's adults doing this shit, Malcolm. Not actual fucking children.
I understand. The issue that I'm having, though, is that I can look at people's interests and why they are into those things, and I can draw, like, very clear lines that dictate, like, what they are into. Like, if somebody only watched, like, BBC porn, I would be like, oh, that dude probably likes BBCs. Pretty easily.
Like, literally just pulling it from your ass. Like, oh, I can just see the correlation.
Do you think that if a man claims to be straight, but he is only able to orgasm and consumes only homosexual porn, do you think that that guy's straight?
Do I think that guy's straight? Probably not.
Okay, so you agree with me.
We're going down the route of this stuff. So okay, we'll go about it this way. If you have someone who's who has a fucking diaper, like he dresses in fucking diapers because it makes him feel embarrassed, and that has like a fucking degradation kink for him, but he doesn't fucking consume any kind of like pedo shit. Like, does that make him a pedophile?
I would say adjacent. I would say adjacent at least.
Stop the fucking acting, like being seen as a baby and looking and being embarrassed by it and having his ego be shattered or whatever.
I'd say that's pretty adjacent.
It's about their fucking ego being crushed and having someone like having a power imbalance over them in a very specific way.
Yeah, and the specific way that's problematic is that it's emulating like a child, an infantilization. That's the word that you use. So
it's adult bodies, and as long as children bodies aren't involved with it, I don't care what people do.
I mean, if that's where you want to draw the line, you can. That's fine. But I'm challenging like your conceptual understanding of like what it means for somebody to possess a certain trait or like a certain level where I would call that person like a pedophile.
When Penny's not into this shit at all.
Well, because I'm challenging you on your understanding of what grooming is. If you remember, we started all the way from the top because you tried to tell me that grooming only involves children. It doesn't, and that grooming only exists in sexual connotations, and it doesn't. So we can agree to disagree on the definition of grooming. I will defer to the actual text definition of what grooming is if we can't agree on a colloquial definition, and that's fine. We can move past that. We'll just disagree on that point. We can put a pin in that. So what after the grooming thing?
Okay, what after the grooming thing? Like I would say like literally calling Penny a dog fucking sex demon, pedophile, grooming. What other fucking things did you do?
Well, let's start with sex demon. We already covered the grooming thing. Let's start with sex demon. What's your issue with me calling her a sex demon?
Because polyamory is not fucking, someone being a sex demon.
I didn't call her a sex demon because she's poly. I called her a sex demon because she is hypersexual to a destructive degree.
What does that mean?
So hypersexuality itself is disordered sexual behavior when you want, by her own admission, to have and maintain a monogamous relationship, but she is simply unable to do so because it's so important for her to have like casual sex with other individuals. That's a destructive force in a relationship. And because of that, she was able to, essentially talk her partners into having an open relationship, even though they by themselves admitted that they wanted monogamy at one point or another. I would consider that to be sex demon behavior.
Funny? Because I know that you didn't pay attention to the video, because if you actually fucking paid attention to the video, you would understand that GF actually came to Penny previously about like wanting to have an open relationship, and she kind of hand waved that away, thinking that like, I watched this video both with your, through your weird filter over the situation, and also like just watching the video on its own.
Yeah, do you think that
partner brought it up by herself at one point?
Do you think that if somebody wants to maintain a monogamous relationship, but they are unable to because their sexual proclivities and desires for casual sex and hookups is a detriment to that relationship, would you consider that disordered, or would you think that's normal and fine?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Do you think that if you have somebody who, by their own admission, wants to maintain a monogamous relationship, but is incapable of doing so because of their sexual proclivities and desires to have multiple, like one-night stands or multiple sexual partners, would you consider that behavior to be disordered by any stretch of the imagination, or is that fine and normal?
I would say that if someone didn't want to desire that, I would say like if partner A wants to fuck a bunch and partner B does not want to have the relationship be open, like, yeah, I would say that would be pretty disorderly. Yeah, I would say in that specific case it would be, but it sounds like both people have agreed to these terms and they're fully functioning adults, and I think that they can make their own fucking decisions, and you judging that is not really your place to do.
Well, I think that realistically, if anything that you put on the internet is to look at to be judged, that's like the whole point.
Okay. Well, I think your views on polyamory are pretty strange in general. Like, I just like the whole like 99% of all poly relationships will fail thing is.
Yeah, they certainly will.
Okay.
Certainly will.
Again, your source is your ass, but that's okay.
I mean, we can look up statistics. Is that what you want to do? Like, what are the successful, happy, and healthy outcomes to polyamorous relationships in people under the age of 30?
I would like to have it be from reputable sources if we're going to do that, but I feel like that's kind of getting lost in the weeds with that. But I think, like you saying, like, where are you getting 99% of all polyamorous relationships?
Where are you getting yours that it's successful?
I'm not offering a statistic. I'm saying that. I think it's really silly and reductive to try and say that, like, if you think you're poly, you're probably not. I think it's like very
like probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I think fucking much like with transmed saying, like, if you think you're trans, you're probably not. Like, I think like you're probably just confusing your gender with your gender identity with your fetish, or what, like saying reductive shit like that is pretty harmful. And much like with that, I think that you're weird to say, like, you're monogamous, and you obviously have
that's a bold assumption of me.
Cheating. Like, you're very.
That's a pretty bold assumption about my lifestyle.
You've said you're monogamous. You don't.
I'm in a monogamous relationship. Yeah, I've said that. I've said that. I've said that I'm in a monogamous relationship. I'm in a monogamous relationship. Yeah, I'm in a monogamous relationship.
Okay, then you're monogamous. So you're a monogamous person.
So if you're polyamorous and you only have one partner at the time, you're not polyamorous? If you're bisexual and you're dating a guy, does that make you straight?
Are you polyamorous?
I don't talk about that kind of shit on stream. Your assumptions make an ass of you and me, bud. I don't talk about that kind of shit on stream. But
like, this is actually like something to know about. Are you polyamorous?
Why do you feel entitled to that information about me?
Because this is literally a fucking conversation about polyamory.
Yeah, me being polyamorous or not, me being polyamorous or not has nothing to do with my opinion on it.
You probably should relinquish that information, otherwise you might come across as an asshole. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that you're monogamous and you're just talking out your ass.
You can assume whatever you would like about me. That
cool.
Is no sleep off of me. I'm looking at this. Sorry, so you would agree that somebody who wants a monogamous relationship but is unable to maintain it due to hypersexual behavior. That'd be like pretty disordered behavior. I would call that person a sex demon.
If all parties are not agreeing to such things, then yes, I would say that would be disruptive.
Yeah, would you say that like if somebody is in a monogamous relationship at the time, and then what ends up happening is your hypersexual partner steps out on you, and that causes like a significant rift in your relationship to the point where you almost become homeless. Do you think that that would be kind of like sex demon behavior?
I mean, you're in sex demon behavior. I mean, okay, you're. Can you repeat that one more fucking time? Like,
Yeah. So the fucking. Yeah. So if you have someone who is in a monogamous relationship, they step out of that monogamous relationship to the detriment of their relationship, which causes tangible, lasting harm for both people involved. And that is due to one person's hypersexual behavior that is so destructive that it quite literally ruined their relationship because they were unable to maintain healthy boundaries and not taking multiple partners while being in a monogamous relationship. Would you consider that to be disordered, like kind of behavior? I would call that being a sex demon. That's what I would say. If somebody's like destroying their relationships to fuck, I would call that person like a sex demon.
Yeah, I would say that with these two people, I would say that both of these people are probably, capable of splitting apart if they need to. I would say GF, like obviously, like these people are coming from a bit of poverty. Like, I don't think it would be like that fucking far out of the realm of possibility of GF going like, hey, I'm gonna break up with you at this point. Like, I'm hoping that you're not gonna be such a fucking asshole to just throw me out on the street. But I think we're not gonna work out. And it seems like Penny is not a complete fucking cretin and would, throw GF out onto the street. It doesn't not imply that at all.
So if you agree, sex demon off the table. Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic in my speech for comedic effect. If we take the sex demon thing off the table, and we agree that this is disordered sexual behavior, at least the way that it's been described to us, assuming that everybody is, a reliable narrator in the situation.
I do not think that this is disordered sex behavior, because the cheating, the going behind GF's back was. Information.
I'll reiterate. I'm going to reiterate, and then I'm going to ask my question. So
that is the actual problem, as opposed to the actual sex itself.
No. So the problem is that you have a hypersexual disorder where you are willing to destroy your monogamous relationships in order to bust a nut, to satiate some kind of sexual desire that you have to have and take and keep multiple different partners at a time in order to, in lieu of and in compromise to your monogamous relationship. So my follow-up question to that is, if we can agree that it's disordered behavior to trash your relationships, to go, hook up with people when you're in a monogamous relationship, do you think that that's a behavior that you should, indulge in? Or do you think that's something that you should maybe hit the brakes on and be like, maybe I should examine this?
I think the correct answer should have been that if Penny had these feelings, she should have been open and honest with her GF and just said like, "Hey, I think I might be non-monogamous, and I want to have hookups. Like, I still love you, I still want to be with you, but this is what I need."
Do you think that is a need, or do you think that's a want?
I think she should have put on her big girl pants and been honest and open and fucking talk to her partner from the beginning, which she eventually did do.
Do you think that?
The problem was the lying. It was the deceit. It was hiding the truth from her.
No, it was the behavior.
With someone
it was the behavior.
She was going to take it to the grave. That is the issue.
No, the issue is that. No, the issue is the behavior, which is stepping out of a agreed upon monogamous relationship. Doesn't matter if it was a hidden secret treasure trove. So my question for the nighttime now is, if that is what we can agree, disordered behavior, you're ruining your fucking relationship to do this, which you know is wrong, you choose to do it anyway. Is that a behavior that you should indulge in, or is that something that you should get help for?
Is this person lying or being open and honest and saying like, I want to fuck other people?
In the exact Leadhead situation, we are dating GF. We cheat on GF. In the process of trying to rebuke our sins, we are continuing to fuck other people other than GF. And on top of that, we are wanting, craving, doing anything to maintain this monogamous relationship and continue to engage in destructive behavior at a detriment to yourself and to your partner. That is definitionally disordered sexual behavior. Do you indulge in that, or do you slam on the brakes and get help?
I think the issue is still the lying. That is still my case. You're trying to frame this in a very...
No, I'm asking you a very simple question.
What you're trying to get me to answer your gotcha question, and I'm not falling for it.
It's not a gotcha question. I'm literally walking with you to this conclusion. If we agree that it's disordered behavior, the answer to that is to not indulge in it. And indulging in it is a mistake.
I think indulging in lying and deceit is the mistake to be done.
Do you think that it's possible for somebody to have sexually disordered behavior?
I don't think that that's really a thing. I think that's a weird expectation put on to us by society. I think that there's all kinds of relationships that people want or need. Some people have.
Do you think sex addiction is a thing?
Some people are not.
Do you think sex addiction is real?
Do I think sex addiction? Yeah, to the point where they can't literally get anything done.
Destroy your intimate relationships to pursue hookups and one-night stands, even to the point where you are remorseful, trying to fix the relationship that you have, but you still cannot stop fucking other people. You think that would maybe border into the territory of sex addiction? Maybe.
I think the lying and the deceit is the issue, not the fucking.
Why can't you just answer the question? I don't understand what the issue is.
Because I don't agree with the framing of the question that you're trying to ask.
The question is
you're trying to get me to say that the fucking is the problem, and
I'm not trying to get you to say that the fucking is the problem. I'm trying to get you to say that what they're doing is self-destructive. It's destroying their fucking relationship. It ruined their fucking relationship, and they continue to engage in it after it was already discovered to be a fucking problem. If there is a problem, do you reward the problem by saying, yes, honey, go and fuck as many whores as you can, blow as much fucking coke up your nose as you could possibly handle without your heart fucking exploding? Or do you say, no, babe, put the e-whores down. Let's get some help and work on our relationship. Do you reward? Do you indulge in that behavior, or do you get some help?
Get some help? What by get some help, do you mean are we trying to force Penny to be monogamous? When she might not be?
Do you think that
very much seems she isn't?
Do you think that polyamory is a sexual orientation?
I think people have the capacity to have different relationships.
Do you think that polyamory is an immutable sexual orientation?
Possibly. I don't know. There hasn't been enough stuff on it. I don't fully know that one way or the other. If you were to put a gun against my head, I would probably say, yeah, probably.
Who is this?
I think that is a thing.
Who is he?
Yeah, that's nuts.
I don't know enough about the subject to know for 110% sure, but I think again, I don't understand why you why you don't seem to grasp the fact that I think that the problem was that Penny fucking lied and kept shit from GF.
Do you think there's a difference between me going to the store to get beer and I lie and I tell my wife that I'm just getting a pack of cigarettes, but I actually get beer, versus me telling my wife, no, I didn't fuck that girl and I actually did? Do you think there's a difference between those two things?
Okay, we're back to can we actually focus on Leadhead and Penny instead of these weird.
This is Leadhead and Penny. You keep saying, Malcolm, it's not about the fucking. It's not about the fucking. It's about the lying. You can tell lies. The issue with infidelity in relationships is that there are romantic and sexual feelings attached to that. I could lie to my wife and say I'm not going to go to the bar tonight, and I can go get shit-faced drunk and be out until fucking 4:00 in the morning. She's going to be mad that I lied. If I say I didn't fuck that girl, and it comes out that I did fuck her, that's going to be a way bigger fucking deal than just lying about going to the bar. Why?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure. What's up?
Okay. What do you think would happen if Penny went to GF and said, look, these are the feelings that I have. I want to have these casual hookups again. What do you think?
What do you mean, what do I think? I don't know.
How do you think that would play out in your mind?
It sounds like that girl's pretty brain fucked, so she'd be like, anything for you, Beyonce. It sounds like she's pretty lost in the weeds, so she probably wouldn't fucking care. She'd do anything to maintain the relationship. Willing to forgive that level of infidelity, like repeated infidelity, I would say is a pretty hardcore sign that you're willing to bend over backwards to maintain the relationship. Yeah. What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
What I just said.
What, like, there hasn't been anything so far. She just says, like, hey.
Did we watch the same video?
I'm sorry?
Did we watch the same video?
Absolutely. I watched it multiple times, in fact.
Yeah, so she says specifically that she was engaged in kind of like self-flagellation, right? Where she's like, I'm sorry, babe, I feel like shit. She mentioned specifically saying, like, it really sucks because when I'm in a relationship with this person at any point, at any moment, in any day...
Wait. This was after the lying, though, which is the actual problem. The lying, the deceit, that is the problem. And again, in my scenario,
can we go back to talking about Penny? We're not talking about Penny right now. We're not talking about Penny right now. We're not talking about Penny right now. Can we get back to talking about Penny?
You have to either go, nah, babe, this isn't going to work out.
Why are we not talking about Penny?
Huh?
Why are we not talking about Penny?
What do you mean, why are we not talking? I'm literally talking... what?
You literally just verbally abused me live in 4K because I was talking about this exact fucking scenario and you were like, oh, can we get back to Penny?
A hypothetical that still involves Penny and GF. Like,
that's literally what I was doing!
You're talking about going to the store and talking about cigarettes or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't really...
Bro, I'm gonna crash the fuck out. I need you to listen to me when I say this. If you need to write it down, please write it down. Do you understand that there is a difference between lying about something insignificant in a relationship, whether it's lying about going out to get beers with the boys or going to the store to get pop when you get alcohol and you do that instead of getting pop, that is a lie, that you could have an issue with that lie. The problem is that if I say, babe, I did not fuck that girl. I swear to God in my life, I didn't fuck her. And then it comes out that I fucked somebody else. That lie, the problem with that lie is the infidelity.
Obviously, Malcolm, that is a thing that can shape the fucking relationship.
No, not shape the relationship. That there is a tangible difference.
Stuff like that. I would also say, like, hey, you lied about this. What else are you lying about? I would probably raise an eyebrow at that. Like, that's why are you lying about something so small and insignificant, like getting cigarettes versus getting pop or whatever? Like, that seems like a pretty big. Like, that seems like a pretty small thing to lie about. What other bigger things are you lying about on top of it? I probably would fucking raise an eyebrow at that and question that.
I didn't ask you if it would raise an eyebrow. I asked you if you can understand the difference. That the problem with the latter is that it's a question of intimacy. It is a question of intimacy.
It's not a relationship warping thing.
Exactly. Thank you. Jesus Christ. 20 years later. Yes, it's because the intimacy is the problem. When you violate that intimacy, that is exceptionally devastating to a relationship. Yes? So the fucking is actually part of the problem. Yes, sure, she told a lie. That sucks. People lie all the time. Grow up. The problem is the fucking, that you stepped out of a committed monogamous relationship to fuck somebody else. That's the problem.
And again, so now that I've answered your weird leading question, let's do mine now.
Okay, lead me.
Okay, so we've gone back in time. The corridors of time have shifted, blah blah, whatever the fuck. Yes. Penny decides to not lie about her thing and decides to say, hey, look, I have someone that I want to hook up with. Amber, I don't remember the name of the person. I think that's what her name is. I want to hook up with her. Like, I know we're in a committed relationship, but like I've had like open relationships with people for a while. This is how I am. This is how I feel. What do you think? And she would either say like, nah, I'm not cool with that, or she would say, yeah, I think we could. If we set boundaries, I think we can be cool with this.
Sure, I would say it's a coin toss. It could go either way. Sure, depending. Obviously, there's plenty that we don't know about the dynamics of the relationship. But assuming all is well, and Oz or whatever the fuck, yeah, I'd say it'd be like a coin toss. Sure.
Okay, so now that we have that established, so. Like, do you think that like things could have ended a lot more cordially, and like if now that people are on the same page and there's no fucking deceit happening, and if they decide to break up, maybe they could at some point, like, yeah, we wasted a lot of time on this, but Penny could be happier having the more, non-monogamous relationship that she would want, and GF could be off, like, doing her thing, and they could probably end up being friends, and everything would be all gravy, and everyone would be happy. Instead of the fucking lie. And again, the thing that correlates this whole thing is the lying. Lying in a relationship's kind of a fucking big deal. Don't lie to your partners.
Yeah, cheating is also a pretty significant deal, especially in agreed upon monogamous relationships. Yeah. And that's why people take a really big fucking issue about lying about stepping out versus lying about, no, babe, that sure doesn't make you look fat.
Okay, can I ask you a question then? In addition to that, you're trying to say like the cheating's the problem. So
yes, it is.
If okay, we're back to timeline where lying isn't happening.
We're traveling.
GF says, yeah, sure, we can do it. You go ahead and hook up with Amber or whatever the fuck her name is. I don't remember the roommate's name is. And they have the hookup. And then suddenly GF wigs out and goes, like, you actually did it? You actually, like, cheated on me? Like, what? Is that cheating?
It could be depending on, like, their agreed upon rules for, like, how they were going to engage with it.
Let's say, for example, there was all agreed upon rules, like you will have this hookup with this person.
Well, yeah, and so if I can sidebar for a second, this is one of my big problems with monogamy. Polyamory is that a lot of people think that they are built different, and they are not. They think that they're okay, with their partner sleeping with other people. It's hot, it's fun, it's exciting, whatever the fuck. I get to fuck other people, you get to fuck other people, and they don't really understand that that's quite a difficult thing to burden, and very few people can do it successfully. So the idea that you would allow somebody to enter, if you would allow somebody to enter like a non-monogamous relationship like that, it's actually completely understandable to me to say like, I thought that this was all just like talk, and then it actually happened, and now I'm feeling like really fucked up about this, and I don't think it was a good idea. That's actually something that happens like more common than not when it comes to people that try swinging or that try open relationships.
How do you know that it's difficult? How do you know that? How do you know that for two people who are polyamorous? And
polyamory is not a sexuality. Polyamory is a lifestyle choice. So there is nobody who is born innately polyamorous. These are people who choose to take multiple partners because that's something that they think they'll like or something that they think they can handle. So I don't buy into this. There are, a unique breed of people that are exceptionally, gifted in this area. It's just some people have a proclivity to be able to take, multiple sexual partners or, being able to do what have you. No, it's non-comparable at all.
The people said that about trans people and gay people once upon a time, and I don't.
That's cool.
I don't,
people say that about pedophiles too, Lily. They say that about pedophiles too. What about it?
I think
Hitler also drank water. Hitler drank water. What? Do you drink water? That's crazy.
That way. Some people are just inherently fucking pedophiles, and they're fucking human fucking garbage.
Sure,
that is the wood chipper. I don't care.
That's super cool. The problem is polyamory is not a sexuality. It's a lifestyle choice because you can be gay, straight, bi, transgender, lesbian, guy, whatever the fuck. Taking multiple partners is a lifestyle choice. Anything outside of that is you just wanting to fuck, and that's fine as long as it's something that you're able to handle. 1, 2, you're with somebody who allows it or somebody who's okay with it, and 3, it's something that you understand the consequences of, and you are comfortable like lying your relationships into ruin in order to pursue this.
I think as long as couples are honest and don't fucking lie and don't go behind their backs, I think everything should be fine and gravy. And if someone says like, "Hey, I want to stop this," then the brakes need to be pumped, either by no longer having the relationship be open or fucking like having them separate. I think that should probably be the. Yeah, I don't see why it has to be more complicated than that.
Because people make it complicated. That's why.
Okay, like you talk as if you have expertise in this. Like you talk that you have expertise, that you've experienced this in some way, shape, or form.
Why is my experience relevant to any of my opinions? Do you think that I could give like an opinion on like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case without being a lawyer?
Explain how my experience is. I think it's fucking.
I don't care about your quote unquote lived experience. I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care. Dr. Ben Carson has experience being a neurosurgeon, and he's one of the dumbest fucking people alive. I don't care.
I don't care. It's not an argument. I'm sorry.
It's a fine argument. Do you care what Blair White has to say about trans people? Who are you to invalidate her lived experience as a trans woman?
what she has to fucking say because she has a giant fucking platform and influences a lot.
Oh well, you're invalidating her lived experience. That's really fucked up of you. She has lived experience as a trans woman. Who are you to tell her otherwise? It's her lived experience. Id-pol judo does not work on me.
She's an incredibly harmful individual.
Id-pol judo does not fucking work on me. I don't fucking care about your lived experience. You're assuming mine, which is your mistake to make. I lose no sleep over it. But continually lying upon, this is my experience, this is my experience, this is my experience. All I have to do, and I could be lying out my fucking teeth. I could say, well, you know what? I have a polyamorous harem. Boom! Then what?
Polyamorous
then whose dick is bigger, mine or yours? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can have opinions without having experience or with having experience with certain things. It doesn't matter.
Guy and a bunch of girls, being subservient to that one guy, or one person. Isn't that what a harem is? That's different from
Lily, do you play basketball?
I'm sorry?
Do you play basketball?
I don't play any sports. I'm legally blind.
I was going to say that pivot was fucking insane, dude. Anyway, so what I was saying is one of the problems is that when
you're saying words and you're trying to you're saying harem. You're using these weird
sorry.
words
hyperbole is dead. I'm sorry. Allow me to put on my good filter. I could be polyamorous. I could have multiple partners. I could have a whole fucking poppycool in the next room. You wouldn't know, and it's none of your business. And even if I did or didn't, all I have to do is lie to you right now and say, yeah, my 4 other girlfriends, 2 boyfriends, and the dog is actually in the next room laying down right now. Then what? Who's right? Me or you?
Yeah, so a bunch of fucking cis male doctors getting together and basically saying well, I don't know what it's like to be trans, and I get a disgust response from that. So these people who have this must clearly just be completely mentally ill because I don't feel that way. I don't know. I think that's
completely what I said.
Not listening to fucking why should we even listen to trans people? I don't care about their experiences. Why listen to them? I think it's gross and weird. Therefore, it's gross and weird.
That's exactly what I said. You got me. That's true. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, I mean, it's
true.
I mean, you're trying to say you don't care about lived experiences. You don't.
No,
care
I don't.
About...
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I can have an opinion about plenty of different things. That doesn't mean that I have to have lived through them. And then your position is assuming my lived experience. And that's fine. You're free to do that. I'm not going to pontificate on my proclivities in public because I don't think that's appropriate. You're building that on your assumptions. Literally, for the 8th time now, if I said right now, yes, I'm polyamorous, I have a polycule right now, I'll go and get them and bring them on camera for you. Who's right and who's wrong now, Lily? Me or you? We have the same lived experience, you and I both.
I would want to know what led you to these beliefs that you are built.
Oh, so lived experience is not enough, is what you're saying. So lived experience is not enough. We have to have something else. Yes.
Okay. I said no. I didn't. No, I did not say that.
If our lived experience were matched, if our lived experiences were matched, you would be right.
You would now be officially the Blair White of the polyamory community.
Oh, because I don't agree with you. Yeah, that would make me basically like an Uncle Tom. Yeah, you got me.
I mean, kind of. You're saying that polyamory is if you're polyamorous, you're basically saying you're an abusive cheater. So,
I literally have never said that one time.
You've implied that Leadhead is.
No, I haven't. I said the reason that I have said those things about Leadhead is because of Leadhead's behavior. It has nothing to fucking do with the fact that Leadhead is trans, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Leadhead is polyamorous.
I never said anything about Leadhead being trans. Period. I never. Why are you bringing that up?
It's the Id-pol judo, dude. I know that's where that's going next. So anyway, Eddie Hooser. Please point to me where I said that all these horrible things about Leadhead because she is polyamorous, or where I implied it, please.
I don't know, for the fact that you're using weird hyperbole, you saying sex cult, sex harem, forcing a GF, a fully autonomous adult who could fucking make her own decision and tell Penny to get fucked and kick rocks.
Do you think, so we'll circle all the way back to what we started on in the very beginning. Do you think it's possible for autonomous adults to be either coerced, bamboozled, tricked, gaslit, whatever phrase you want to use, into doing things they wouldn't normally do?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, what do you? Yeah. Okay, so the answer to that is yes. So I would say you can spin, autonomous adult, this, that, the other thing. I would say that the people that are in, Leadheads or Petty's Orbit or whatever the fuck, these people, based on what I've seen in the videos, which is all we can go off of, the way that they act in the videos and the way that Leadhead talks about them specifically, I would say that these are people who are pretty mind-fucked to a degree where they'd be willing to do anything to maintain the relationship. And that puts somebody in a compromising position where they might do something they wouldn't normally do in order to save the integrity of the relationship. So, piggybacking off of that, a quick 1-2 here. Do you think that it's possible for somebody who is polyamorous to convince somebody who is not polyamorous to engage in, at the very least, an open relationship, and that somebody would be desperate enough to maintain that monogamous relationship that they would say yes?
I would say yes, it's possible. Sure, why not? Okay. It's possible.
Sure, so that's what I'm looking at. That's the behavior that I'm... Oh my god, that's the behavior that I'm criticizing.
Why are we assuming immediately right off the bat, even though like Leadhead told the story from beginning to end, talking about how, like, she's had her partner read the fucking script before she put it out, basically saying, like, is this okay to post? And she gave the thumbs up to it. Like, yeah, coolio.
I mean, that doesn't really mean anything to me because, I mean, you have people, like, read ransom videos on YouTube videos all the time and shit like that. Like, just because somebody says, like, yeah, this is fine, when, not that long ago they were, essentially distraught because their relationship was fucking destroyed, bro. Like, yeah, I'm going to be pretty hesitant when they're kind of in panic mode and they're willing to do anything they can to maintain and save a relationship that they valued greatly, right?
Thanks. Pause. So after a giant fucking bout of lying, a giant fucking thing where, a Penny went on this giant fucking quest to, like, this fucking spirit journey or whatever the fuck to, like, figure out, like, maybe I shouldn't lie. Maybe I should actually fucking, like, be honest with my partners. And then blatantly said, I had my partner look over this and she gave the thumbs up. And GF was like, what the fuck? I didn't say that. I didn't read over this thing. You didn't say that. You put all this other stuff in here that I didn't okay. I didn't fucking, like, if she just, like, that would just be a blatant lie. They would probably go right back to where they were right before this whole thing happened.
Yeah, people lie.
Probably broken up by now.
Yeah, people can lie, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah, and right after a giant thing that broke GF's trust, and Leadhead was able to fucking rebuild it after, like, finally being honest with it, why would she fucking just go right back to lying again?
Because, well, by her own admission...
No, I'm not done. I'm not finished. And if that's the case, if she did end up going back and lying, why would not just, like, put them right back in the fucking same position that they were in to begin with? And probably they would have ended up breaking up because she just immediately lied when she said she wouldn't lie anymore. That doesn't make any sense, Malcolm.
I mean, it does, because because by her own admission in the video, she still is actively cheating on GF after she's self-flagellating by her own admission.
Where's the cheating? They agreed on it.
When they were planning on maintaining their monogamous relationship, there was a point in their relationship where fucking Leadhead said, I want to make this work. Let's work on this. Let's work on that. I'm sorry for stepping out on you, babe. That wasn't appropriate. And continue to do it before they agreed on having a polyamorous relationship.
If they agreed on something,
they didn't.
They agreed to having an open relationship.
They did not at the time, which is what I'm criticizing.
They did the thing, and now it's suddenly cheating, even though both parties are agreeing to it.
They didn't agree to it. There was a limbo period where they decided to try and work on their fucking monogamous relationship. And during that time, Leadhead continually describes self-flagellating over, oh my god, like, I feel like such a piece of shit, I feel like this, I feel like that, the other thing, I ruined my relationship, da-da-da-da-da, while they were trying to preserve their monogamous relationship, and she was still cheating on her.
Conclusion where
I'm not talking about the conclusion. Go back and watch the video. I'm not talking about the conclusion.
I watched it twice.
Watch it a third time. Apparently you need to see it again, because there was a part in their relationship where they were still monogamous and trying to work on their relationship before they agreed to open it up, and she was still fucking other people. That is cheating. Yes, you agree that is cheating?
Whoa. When was the only person that she brought up was her roommate? When was what was the other person that she was fucking? Who was the other person?
She was continuing to see Amber.
They were continuing to see Amber?
Yes.
if that's the case, then I guess I might have fucked up in that regard. I don't think that was the I didn't think that was the case. I thought they said we're going to do this, and we're never. As far as I knew, they broke it off before the shit ever fucking came out.
You can go back and rewatch it. I'm not rewatching the whole fucking video right here. So anyway,
okay. If that's I will go back and I'll update you on it. But from what I understood, she said we're going to stop it here, and I'm taking this to the grave. She literally fucking said that in the video. And even then, I'm not even fucking talking about that point in the video. I'm talking about when all the fucking lies were off the fucking table, when they were, I
don't care about that. Relationships were in long before that. Relationships were in long before that. It's over. It's done. It's toast. Kiss it goodbye.
Apparently it isn't, because they're still wanting to try.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's going to end really well.
Okay. That is your opinion. I guess, like, Malcolm's opinion means more than, like, these two people who want to try and fucking work shit out on their own.
Where the fuck did I say? Why when I do hyperbole, I'm like a rape demon, but if you do hyperbole and you like totally stretch what I'm saying into like a contorted corpse of what my true intention was, it's like, oh well, you know what I meant. What's that about?
What that's about is, like, you don't know these people. You don't know anything about their fucking
dynamic. Neither do you. I can only go off of what people choose to put on the internet to embarrass themselves with. That's all I can watch.
What these people are like outside this one fucking video.
You're right, neither do you. So I guess our lived experience is the same.
And it's weird that you're sitting there literally.
I guess our lived experience here is the same. I guess we're on equal footing then.
I don't know. Like, this was supposed to be about a story about, like, hey guys. The video is like, hey guys.
The story was like, I really needed to go to therapy, but everybody around me enabled me into giving into my sex addiction. That's what happened.
Literally, that's the name of the video. Honesty, literally about, like, hey, maybe we should be honest with our.
Notoriously,
partners.
When people say I'm being honest, they never lie. Very true. It's a failsafe. If you say I'm being honest, you can never utter a lie. It's very true. It's like a curse. True. So, quick question. Do you think that you can tell the truth and be honest, but also be manipulative at the same time? Or do you think those two things are incompatible?
Say that again.
Do you think that you can be honest, but also manipulative at the same time? Or can those two things not coexist together?
I mean, I suppose that's possible, sure. Like, you can like lie by omission.
No, not lie by omission. Be completely transparent, be completely open and honest, but still be manipulative and manipulate people into doing things that maybe they didn't want to do, even with true honesty and intention.
If you're saying something and you're doing something, you're hoping for a different result, like that would entail some sort of lying.
No. Like, you can have, like, do you know who Mr. Girl is?
Give me an example.
Yeah, do you know who Mr. Girl is?
Sadly, yes.
Okay. Do you think that he's a manipulative person?
I know there was a whole thing. Like, I don't, like, give me another fucking example. I don't know the full ins and outs of his thing.
Do you know what's going on with Destiny right now?
I mean, kind of, not really. Isn't he being like Me Too'd a whole bunch? Like, a bunch of like fucking people are coming out and saying like I was sexually assaulted by him or something.
Sure. So I'll give you like a really quick. We'll just do Mr. Girl because this is going to be the easiest one. So Mr. Girl is somebody who is painfully truthful, like intentional and obvious and direct in the way that he speaks. So he could say. So notoriously, a lot of his controversy is around that he treats his girlfriend. Okay. So he said many times, Shaylin, I want to abuse you. Shaylin, I want to hurt you. Shaylin, I want you to suffer because of me. I want you to be in pain because of something that I say to you. And she says, okay, yeah, that sounds fine. And he does it just like he said he did. He was being honest. He was being truthful with his intentions. And then after the fact, obviously, when he, does whatever to Shaylin, which varies from benign to extreme, she's upset. Do you think she has a right to be upset about that? Because he was true and honest about his intentions. He said straight up, Shaylin, this is what I am going to do to you. And then he did it. Do you think that that's manipulative at all on his part? Do you think that maybe he's lulling her into a false sense of security? Maybe there's like a little push-pull, like is he really going to do it? Do you think that it is possible for somebody to be honest and true in their statements, their intentions, and their words, and still be manipulative?
I mean, in this very hyper-specific situation with someone like literally trying to like antagonize someone, like actively trying to antagonize someone, sure. Like, so tie this back to fucking Penny, please.
You keep relaying on this aspect of honesty. that honesty will set you free. That because she's being honest, because of this, because of that, there's no wrongdoing here because it's all transparent. What I'm getting at is that you can be transparent, honest, true, and direct in everything that you're saying, feeling, and expressing, and you can mean it with your whole fucking heart. You can still be manipulative, and you can still be vindictive, and you can still get people to do things that they don't necessarily want to do by virtue of you being all of those things. The best manipulators don't lie. The best manipulators don't trick. The best manipulators don't deceive. They act open, brazen, and with honesty and integrity. And people do not take them at their word. So, do you see where I'm connecting this, or do I need to circle back around again?
Okay, but do you believe that this is obviously you believe that this is what's happening between
yes.
Penny and GF? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so why at any point couldn't Penny or GF just say like I don't feel cool with an open relationship anymore? Like this is
why don't battered wives leave their husbands?
Why don't battered wives leave their okay? So this is like literal, like this is...
No, why? What prevents them from leaving? They're adults with agency. They weren't groomed into the relationship. They're not neurotypical or neurodivergent or intellectually delayed. They have options outside of their relationship. They could easily go and stay with a family member or a trusted friend. They choose not to. Why?
Okay, you're obviously wanting me to say because like they feel a connection to this person. They just want to make it work, babe.
Yeah, like when you're, and that's normal. When you're in a relationship and you really care for somebody, you do a lot of things that maybe you wouldn't normally do in order to satiate that relationship. Some are good and some are bad. Like opening up your relationship if it's not something you're comfortable with. Or maybe, excusing certain behaviors that maybe were red lines or deal breakers for you in the past. Those are things that, yes, those are things that I'm pointing to right now. And I would say that allowing your partner to indulge in this destructive force that quite literally ruined your fucking relationship, that I would consider that to be a little bit of like, I love this person, which is understandable. I don't want to ruin the relationship, which is understandable. So I'm willing to do this thing that I probably really don't want to fucking do. But if I do it, guess what? She doesn't leave. Is that just totally out of the realm of possibility for you? That's an impossible scenario.
Is it out of the realm of possibility? I suppose not. Do I think that it's happening? Do I think that specific thing is happening? If I'd wager to say no, it sounds like fucking Leadhead wanted to like realize that the end was probably coming at some point. Like she probably realized that like something like that was going to fucking happen. And rather than fucking and she even told that story about like the lifelong thing of that one guy who cheated on his wife, and they ended up staying together, but they were just like bitter and foul towards each other. So like she literally fucking said she didn't want that to happen. So rather than like let that shit fucking happen, she just decided to be like, okay, here are all the cards on the table. Here's everything. I'm not. And
all the cards on the table can be used in a way to pressure somebody into doing something in order to maintain the relationship. If you know that somebody is desperate to maintain a relationship, you can get them to do all kinds of things in order to preserve that relationship that they wouldn't normally do.
So are we just assuming that like GF has zero boundaries and she's just like this incredibly fucking weak-willed person? Like that's the only way that do you
think that battered wives are weak-willed people?
Huh?
Do you think that battered wives are weak-willed people?
Like you're talking about literal fucking like.
Yeah, I'm talking about an adult woman that has agency, decision, choice, ability, means, access to get away from her husband who beats the fuck out of her every single night. Is she just like you're acting like the options are like she's literally fucking Terry Schiavo in a vegetative state, or she's perfectly capable. There's no gray area here for you, where it's very easy to look from the outside into other people's situations and say like, wow, if I was in that situation, I would do fucking anything to maintain that relationship because that person means something to me. And for whatever reason, you go, oh well, I guess she just has soup for brains. I guess maybe if she had no arms and she had no legs and she had no eyes and she literally got surgery to make her into fucking a worm, then yeah, I suppose that's literally what you're doing.
Like, say anything remotely like
that's literally what you're doing. That is literally what you're doing. You're like, well, she has agency. I have accepted. I have acknowledged that they have it. We have already agreed that even somebody with agency can be manipulated, coerced, and agree to things that they wouldn't normally agree to in order to save a relationship. We have already agreed on this. Why do we keep looping? Did I actually take mushrooms? Did you give me mushrooms? Did you drug me? What's happening?
Oh my fucking god.
You don't get to act exasperated when you drug us here.
I mean, you wanted to have this conversation. Like, I just wanted to fucking, like, comment to you. Like, you were the one who invited me on stream. I didn't even ask
because I'm not doing fucking the debate gauntlet, walls of text back and forth. If you want to come on and dance like a little monkey and make money for me, you're more than welcome to, but I'm not spending hours of my life arguing with you in my DMs. I refuse. Okay. I will not. I don't do it with anybody. I certainly won't do it with you. We will die together in DMs, you and I. We will be in the fucking DM polycule from fucking hell forever. I don't want that.
Okay. So you're the only answer that you're going to accept from me is like 100% yes. Like we have a total abuser on our hands.
That's
we
totally
literally don't have someone who like like everything that fucking
exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. Yes, that's totally what I said. You got me.
Okay, so what do you want me to answer with? Like, I'm trying. You're trying to fucking lead me down this path that
I'm not trying to. I'm trying to get you to commit to fucking anything, because it's like anytime that I ask you a question, you're like, well, I guess hypothetically, maybe if she was in a persistent vegetative state, I suppose maybe hypothetically, depending on the phase of the moon. But if you ask me a question, I'm like, yeah, I think that's fair, or like, yes, I think that's true. Sorry, say that again.
So okay, I want to ask: do you think cheating is on the same level of someone battering someone, like literally fucking beating them?
Do you think that verbal abuse is on the same level as physical abuse?
You wait. Say that again.
Do you think that verbal abuse is on the same level as physical abuse?
Do you think verbal abuse is happening between Penny and GF? Because it didn't sound like
that's not what I asked. You asked me. Hang on, I have to turn off this fucking. Oh my god, I'm getting brain blasted. No.
Follow along. I didn't say verbal.
Okay, do not fucking start with me. I'm gonna turn your volume all the fucking way down. I have been sitting in this fucking call with you for over an hour, being very patient, very kind. I'm not crashing out. What you asked me? You said is cheating. You said is cheating the same thing as whatever. So I asked you. I said, do you think that verbal abuse and physical abuse are the same thing? I'm asking you to differentiate these two things in my mind. I can categorically consider things under the same umbrella, and obviously they're going to be different in severity. Yes, I understand.
Verbal abuse and physical abuse are both bad.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering a question in like one sentence or less. Yes, I agree. I completely agree. Thank you. Yes, I agree. So, in that instance,
cheating on that same level.
Cheating is a form of emotional abuse. Is it not?
I think it's lying and deceptive. Yeah.
Do you think that lying and deceit is a form of emotional abuse? Do you think intentional, repetitive, like lying intentionally, is that emotional abuse?
I think cheating would probably. Sorry, my brain's fucking melting over this shit. I don't know how we fucking got here again. Like,
I mean, we actually walked in an incredibly straight line. But I'll ask you again. Do you think that lying and manipulating somebody, being dishonest, being unfaithful, do you think that is emotional abuse?
Yes, I think it's emotional abuse.
Okay, so yes, I would say that cheating is emotional abuse. So when you ask me, is this the same thing as beating the ever-living fuck out of your wife? No, but I would consider it to be emotionally manipulative and emotionally abusive to cheat on your partner, especially if you're doing it multiple times, religiously, continuously, over a period of time, when you're committed to a monogamous relationship. Yes.
I believe there was only the one case of cheating. I don't think that it was a rapid-fire cheating thing. Like, I think we're either one of us is wrong. I'd have to go back and fucking watch the video. It was the one case of cheating. It was the repeated lying that was the issue.
Oh, cool. So even if I agree with that, which I don't, let's just say hypothetically I do agree with that. So you think that it's a good idea, or you think that it's reasonable for somebody who is being emotionally abused in a relationship to say like, I think I'm going to let this slide because I want to preserve the integrity of a relationship. Explain to me how that is different from somebody who is a battered wife, void of, and we'll just say, we'll make it even, somebody who screams at their wife every single fucking day when they get home from work, like vicious emotional abuse. How is that different?
Is that what Leadhead is? Is that another thing you're accusing Leadhead of doing?
No, I'm asking you what the difference is between those two things to you.
I would say one like literally triggers a trauma response where like what you're. You
don't think that being lied to and gaslit can trigger a trauma response?
Not in the same way as like being physically and verbally abused. Like,
okay, so I specifically said verbal abuse.
You're literally living in a fucking war zone at that point. You're literally
I specifically excluded physical abuse. I specifically said verbally abused. What are the differences between these two things?
Verbal abuse. You're waiting for the next time that someone's gonna fucking blow up at you and scream.
Yeah, you're waiting for the next time that you're gonna come home and your husband's like, "Oh, sorry, babe, I fucked another whore on the side of Route, 77 or whatever the fuck." Yeah, you're emotionally bracing for your trust in this person to be broken. You're waiting to be lied to. You're waiting to be manipulated. That we both agreed was emotional abuse. Differentiate these two things for me.
Okay. Again, one leaves you on the fucking path of like being like waiting for the next
that same thing can happen with cheating. Find something that doesn't apply to both. Why are they different? What differentiates the two of them? Because you can say the same thing for somebody who's with a chronic cheater.
So are you asking the difference or not? Like
I'm asking you because I have created a perfect equal scenario. We agree cheating and lying and manipulating is emotional abuse. How is that different or worse? You've said that it's less than, it's not as bad as somebody who is in a verbally abusive relationship. Like they are getting screamed at day in and day out. How is that different? Separate these two things for me.
I'm sorry, I'm
The answer is they're not. The answer is that they're not different. That is the answer. You are being emotionally abused in both scenarios. Both are bad by virtue of them being manipulative, harmful, destructive to your relationship. They are both harmful. They might be different. They're both abusive and they're both harmful. Yes?
Okay. So I think at this point, like I'm not going to convince anyone of this. Like this is like I saw a different video. I saw something where it seemed like that this person talked about a relationship issue. It seemed like that they worked things out, and it could have easily gone to the situation where they didn't fucking. This is a bad idea to do this right after I fucking started working out and shit. I tried to fucking work an entire full day of work and also exercise at the same time. This was a bad idea. So I apologize for that.
All good in the head.
Yeah, this is the very fucking end of my day. But
go take a bath, go soak, go relax.
No, it's all good. I'm trying to fucking I'm literally trying to follow like the things that you're saying, and I'm just like my brain is going in 1,000 fucking directions. Probably my fucking ADHD. That's not an excuse. That's just what's happening.
Yeah, life comes at you fast. I mean, I can let you go if you would like, if you so desire, because if you don't see the difference, or excuse me, the similarities between these two things, if you are like unable to parse that, I don't know what to tell you.
But like the thing that I'm having the big issue with all of this is like you're trying to fucking say that this is like you're trying to say that multiple cheatings have happened.
At least two have. That's a pattern. At least two. It's a pattern.
From what I remember, what actually happened was Amber and her hooked up. The order of operations where they hooked up. They both agreed that they weren't going to do it, and they were going to keep that to the fucking grave. They
yeah, I don't want to relitigate like the recollection of the video again.
Got guilty, told a half truth.
Yeah, that's inconsequential to me. I don't care. It happened more than once. It's a pattern.
I'm trying to go down the order of events. Like you're a second thing happened. The second thing that ended up happening was it turns out that like still after all that, Leadhead was keeping more shit from her.
Which is even fucking worse, is it not?
It wasn't a second case of cheating.
No, that it was when they were trying to maintain their monogamous relationship, she was continuing to step out on her girlfriend, which is a pattern of behavior.
I don't remember that in the slide. I watched that video twice, and
watch it a third time and take some notes. I don't know what to say because that's exactly what she described. So,
how many times did you watch this video and did you take notes? Is it possible that you're misremembering something?
No. I don't know if you've ever watched me cover literally fucking anything ever that you remotely care about. I have the autism that people warn you about. I will autistically remember details about shit about this that you would not, your mind could not even fathom the prison that is between my ears right now. Okay.
Okay. I will go back and watch that again. And even if that's the case, even if that's 2 times, like from what I understand,
it's just 2 times. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, who cares? That's not emotional abuse. If he only screams at you twice, it's okay.
You're putting words in my mouth. Stop that.
Then stop dancing. Stop dancing. Stop. Stop weaseling. Stop worming around on the ground. Well, it was only one time. We agree it's emotional abuse. If somebody hits you in the face one fucking time, that's still a big deal. That's worth leaving somebody over. It doesn't matter. It was one time, babe. I was drunk.
It's worth leaving someone over, and I wouldn't blame GF for wanting to fucking do that. But like at the end of the day, it should be their fucking decision to make.
You know, and people are entitled to make their wrong choices, and if they choose to put it on the internet, we're all betting spectators in their game.
Okay, and this is the point that I want to get at. If at some point, like, you know, if there was like more to the story and Leadhead was lying, don't you think isn't there like 4 or 5 people living in that house and don't they have fucking friends? Don't you think like somewhere on social media someone would leak something like that? Wouldn't there be fucking chat logs? Wouldn't there be something to prove any of this shit?
I'm really not trying to be a dick right now, but I'm circling the drain right now with this shit. It's driving me insane. In the kindest way possible, I honestly have no idea how you have made it this far in life. It is very obvious that there are people like, what about like the FLDS? How many people are a member of that organization and we're just now in the last 10 or so years learning about the horrific abuse? There's so many people there. Why didn't anybody say anything? Like, your understanding of this is so black and white, and it's just like so mind-numbingly frustrating to try to like talk to you about, because it's like the Destiny situation that you literally were just talking about right now. Destiny has been doing this for years, for almost 10 years. Why has nobody said anything? There's millions of Discord logs. There's millions of screenshots. There's millions of people that have had this happen to that. Well, not millions. I'm being hyperbolic right there. But like, there are an unbelievable amount of people that he has done this shit to. Why is it only coming out now? Like, they're all adults with agency and choice and blah, blah, blah. It's like, how... I do not know how to communicate with you when your understanding of this is so terminally black and white that you cannot comprehend that there are other motivations as to why people choose to leak or not leak things. Why?
Because he's a
wrong,
massive fucking
wrong. You do not want to test me on my Destiny lore. Wrong. If this is the case, why do people cover for their partners when they kill somebody? They were there. There's witnesses. They could go to jail. They know it's wrong. They're adults with agency. Why? There are influential factors. What is intersectionality? What are confounding factors? What are all these things? It is like impossible to talk to you because you don't like you it doesn't click. I don't know how to talk to you.
You don't know how to talk to me. Like,
no,
I don't know. I guess you're literally fucking psychic, and you know you've read the thoughts of everyone involved. I guess. Like, literally watching this fucking video plugged your mind into the Matrix, and you've seen what these people feel and see. Like,
I know. My opinion is law. Thank you, Lily. It's true. My opinion is fact. I agree. Thank you.
Okay. All right. From the things that I've seen, like, if at some point like chat logs comes out and some proofs comes out, like that's what I care about. I care about like actually like not just like fucking, you know, like theorizing and shit and like more fucking
yeah, I know. Giving your opinion on shit is so boring.
Based on literally fucking nothing. Like, I'm just getting so fucking tired of the you know of seeing another fucking trans woman getting accused of being a groomer, pedophile.
Don't groom people and you won't get called a groomer. It's really actually fucking easy.
Zero evidence. I want evidence of this shit happening.
Yeah, there's like just, you know, like autistic, mentally compromised young people who are socially maladjusted that are being groomed into living this like weird fucking puppy girl lifestyle where the person like quite literally claims to be their fucking mom and calls them mommy and shit like that. Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Like you're in a group, you're being groomed, I guess. Like, it's just...
if you're doing it to like socially delayed and people with intellectual disabilities such as autism that have loose social... Do you think that every person that joins a cult is just like, they just have like Down syndrome? Like, what are you talking about right now?
There's a cult now? We're talking about cults now. She's a cultist. Wow, that escalated quickly. Like that's
totally what I said.
You try to fucking escalate these things to just like.
I literally did not. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this one more time. If this doesn't land, I'm going to let you go because I'm gonna join a cult and the Midsommar cult, and I'm gonna jump off the fucking cliff in a second. Okay? I'm gonna try this one more time. You said earlier that your understanding of grooming, the only way it would be applicable to adults is if they were intellectually disabled. One of these people is intellectually disabled. By their own admission, by fucking Leadhead's own admission, these are people that are very socially stunted. They're very socially maladjusted. They're people that don't have supportive families. These are, I'm going to finish my fucking sentence. These are people that have their agency the way you would never in a million years possibly consider them to be grooming victims. People that join cults, I'm not saying that she's a cult leader. People that join cults are adults with agency, choice, blah, blah, blah. Who do they target? People who are socially maladjusted, people who have poor social supports. It's really easy for people who don't have that shit at home to fall into these traps, okay? Yeah, you don't have to be a literal fucking vegetable. You don't have to be plugged into the fucking life support machine in order to fall for this shit. You don't have to have an IQ of 10.
Fucking age demographic. Literally, like everyone, like we're not talking about a fucking.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay. So now you're gonna say they're not disabled enough. Okay, based. Yeah. Okay, based.
I didn't say that. I also, how do you know if they're fucking disabled?
She literally said it in her fucking video, bro. Are you kidding me? You're coming up here saying, "Oh, this wasn't in the. This wasn't. You didn't even watch the fucking video. Get on my face. You didn't even watch the fucking video." She says in the video that they have autism and they're socially maladjusted and they have no fucking friends. She said that in the video.
She's didn't have free because like her fucking father kept her away from fucking shit.
Does that mean that she's not socially maladjusted? Does that mean that she's social? What does that mean?
Mixing up shit. That's not.
No, I'm not.
That's girl. That's
both of them have some kind of fucking issue. One of them is autistic. The other one is so socially delayed that they didn't have any fucking friends.
The internet. Girl was the one who was chronically online and didn't have friends.
That literally doesn't change literally any single fucking thing that I just said. Try again. Swing and a miss. Try that. Take it from the top again, because you totally missed that. What I said is both of them have some kind of issue where they're either socially or intellectually delayed. By your own definition, if there is some kind of weird coercion shit going on here, which I'm pretty comfortable saying that there is, by your definition, that meets the threshold of grooming. By your own standard. Did you follow? Check. Over. Copy. Over. Are you with me? Over.
No, actually, it doesn't meet that same criteria. I'm talking about literally someone who has to have a fucking hand.
True. Those are the only disabilities. You're so right. That's so stunning and brave. The only disabilities are zero brain activity and fucking Sheldon Cooper. True. I hope that you have a wonderful night. I cannot keep doing this because I'm going to spontaneously combust.
Honest. Okay. Good night.
Peace and blessings. Yeah, I truthfully, like, in my heart of hearts, I don't know like how to have conversations with people that like are unable to follow a train. And for anyone who has like been around the Malcolm rat race for a while, I know that you guys know who Lily is. And she dog walks the fuck out of me, bro. But no, she is a professional dog walker. So I made the executive decision today that I am not going to be dog walked. She's been on before. We talked about AGP. We talked about Poppy. She just dog walks, dude. That's like her whole thing. Is she's a dog walker. She just kind of leads you all over the place. So yeah. So I made the executive decision that I wasn't going to get dog walked. I decided that I was going to be the dog handler and she was going to be the puppy. I've decided. That's what I decided today. So we have talked before. She's somebody who's in Femyaz's community for whatever fucking reason. I mean, I guess red flag right there, but yeah, she's from Femyaz's community, and I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's like, ugh. I know not.